Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. John Kelly, Profiler here, and welcome. Welcome to part 29 of our very sad series, Who Killed Libby German and Abby Williams. I cannot believe that it's part 29 we're doing here. I cannot believe this guy hasn't been caught yet. I can't believe this is 4 years. Okay? I must say everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also, I want to bring up our webinar series for all you armchair quarterbacks out there and all your web sleuths. I think you'd find it very, very interesting. If you want to go to our link in the description, it'll take you to where you can leave your information and we can give you more information on when the webinar is taking place. Also, I want to bring up our channel Thrive. Our channel Thrive is out there on YouTube. For any of you that are suffering from addictive illness, for any families that are being ripped apart by addictive illness and watching your loved ones self-destruct, please feel free to use Thrive. Okay, our free YouTube channel. There's a lot of good educational videos on there, and we think that can be very helpful if you're going through this COVID time and you also have addictive illness ripping at your family. Okay. With all this being said, I want to shout out today to Curtis Smitely. It's Smitely or Smitely. I think it's Smitely, and I have it right, but I'm not sure. So if I'm wrong, please let me know, and I'll correct it in the next vid. But I want to shout out to Curtis. I watched Curtis's recent video, and it is very, very interesting to us. If you go to our profile link above, you're going to see a show we did on profiling a sadistic killer. The show we did months ago is called Profiling a Sadistic Killer. And in that profile, we brought out how visual we think this killer is. Yes, we think he knows the area very well. Yes, we think he's sadistic for the way he carried out his act. Yes, we think he's organized for how he kind of corralled the girls and then marched them down to his kill zone and where he was going to kill and torture them. And I believe they were tortured all the way down, just the very fact that they're marching all that way knowing that something bad is going to happen, whatever it's going to be. But one thing we focused on in that profile, and again, we put an age in there, which you're all familiar with, and height and weight. But something that's very important to us about this serial killer or killer, I shouldn't say serial killer until I know for sure. Technically, it's a mass murderer. Anybody that murders two or more at any one occasion is actually classified as a mass murderer. But right now, I have to focus on what makes this guy tick, okay? Now, there are three primary intake senses that humans use. I'm saying primary intake senses, okay? Number one is your visual primary intake sense. Number two is your auditory primary intake sense. Of course, visuals with your eyes and what you see. You know, believe what you see and not what you hear, that kind of thing. Those kind of people, right? And then the auditory primary sense is somebody that's really got the gift of gab and can talk really, really well. They're very smooth talkers. But usually, even though people use both, okay, there's one they prefer over the other. That's why a lot of these serial killers, when you see them in prison, are really good artists. Did you ever know that? Notice that they can really draw and paint well? They become very creative once they get caught and get put away. It's very interesting. The third primary intake sense is kinesthetic or feelings. So your three primary intake senses are visual, auditory, and feelings are kinesthetic. Well, guess what? You can erase feelings of kinesthetic because serial killers really don't have any conscience. Or murderers like this that would murder two little girls, they really don't have any conscience. They don't have any feelings. So we subtract feelings and we're left with visual and auditory. Well, I really believe this guy's more visual. Okay, I believe he's less talk and more watch, more see, and more focused based on the way he stalked them, where he knew where to take them, where no one was looking, a visual predicate word, okay? I mean, this guy is really, I believe, visually focused. Now, we know that these guys fantasize in their minds of what they're going to do and the victims they're going to go after. And they live with that fantasy constantly, and then they turn it into the action phase and start to move on it. Well, as you know, a lot of these guys take trophies. I don't know if this guy took trophies or not. Law enforcement isn't talking about it. But something that's always been around and been in our mind is this guy taking pictures? Is this guy used a camera? And this is where Curtis Smitely comes in, because he has a great video out there. It's only been out about a week. I suggest you look at it. We will put a link up there for you. We want you to take a look at Curtis's video. Very important. Because what if this guy, like Curtis suggests, has some kind of camera on his hat or on him somewhere and is visualizing the whole hunt? He's behind the girls. He's got the camera set up. Could be a GoPro or some other camera Curtis talked about that can be clipped onto a hat. And he's following them. And he's actually visualizing the hunt, the stalk, right up to the point where he goes into the abduction phase and gets ready to move them on to the next location. And the next location is the location where they ended up being killed. If he has all that on camera, that could be a reason. I believe there's two reasons why he hasn't acted out since then. One of them could be that he does have it on camera, and at his leisure, he can relive his fantasy, because they all relive the fantasies. That's why they take trophies. They want to relive it. They relive it over and over and over. And if he has it on camera, he doesn't even have to return to the area. He can actually realize the area, realize the hunt, realize the abduction, realize the control, and realize the murder without leaving his house. Because he's gotten it on camera. He's photographed it. Okay? And he has it. So that's something I'm thinking about. With the technology that's out there these days, it's very possible. Now, we also believe the guy could be a hunter, more so a hunter than a fisherman, but we believe both, a hunter, fisherman, outdoors guy. And people might know him for wearing these different types of cameras when he's out fishing or he's out hunting. And Curtis brings this up in his vid. And I think it's very, very important that, and it's a possibility, because we have to look at possibilities. Because let's face it, this isn't common, okay? This isn't something that the vast majority of fishermen or hunters are doing. So maybe if this guy is relying on a camera to capture his game, whatever it may be, and photographing it, bottom line is people might know him. I think it's a very, very possible scenario. And I want to thank Curtis again for bringing it out. Now, Curtis has lung cancer. He said before he dies, he wants to see Bridge Guy get caught. Curtis, from your lips to God's ears, bro. Okay? Thank you so much. The other thing that's very, very important is realizing that this guy has got to go down. Maybe this guy's been laying dormant, for up to 4 years now. But sooner or later, he's going to be awakened if he's not dead or incarcerated. That's what I believe. And somewhere, someplace, probably a rural area, some girl is going to run into him, or girls are going to run into him. And it's going to be rough stuff because these guys only get better. They learn. They learn from their mistakes. I think another reason you haven't heard from him is because we have an idea of what he looks like. You know, thanks to Libby. Libby got this guy. Libby's the one that has this guy cooling off. I truly believe it, because the one thing these guys don't want to do because of their control issues is end up in prison. Because in prison, they really don't have any control, do they? Listen, with all that being said, I want to thank you so much for tuning in and for watching today. Most importantly, stay safe out there. Be well. Make it a great day. Thanks so much. We always appreciate your information. Whatever information you have, please send it. And we always love your comments. Again, make it a great day. God bless. Thank you.